everybody. Storm's here with an update on the gardening. Went out and picked up some all-purpose potting soil. This was about $3.50 for 14 quarts at Dollar General. True Living, I believe that's their brand. And we got us a 5-gallon bucket right here. We've already punched holes in the bottom because this was split at the bottom. So we really can't put any liquids in it, per se. Although we will be watering our plants, and the plants that we're putting in here are potatoes. Look how well those are doing. These were full of water, and I just made little holders to keep the potato above the water, and there was an eye coming out, and that was in the water. I don't let the water actually touch the potato itself. Matter of fact, I have a newer one that I just planted, and you can see it's just barely touching the bottom of the potato, but there's right there as a start, so a little slip. So these have gotten out of control, and I've waited too long. I need to do something with it because this is what's going to produce your potatoes. I've done this once before, had good luck out of it. The only thing I didn't do, my timing was a little bit different in the past, and I didn't try planting potatoes this early in the spring because Kentucky tends to have all the seasons in one week, sometimes in one day. And like this week, daytime average is going to be about 55, maybe close to 60. And overnight temperatures about 38 to 45. So, give or take. So this time of year is so messed up. And we had, a couple of weeks of warm, beautiful weather. And then it just said, you got to pay the piper. So we ended up, having this cold spell. So, yeah, that's what we're facing. And I think these potatoes are probably going to have to stay in the house under the grow lights. The potato and tomato plants that I have outside, I'm really having a hard time talking. I don't know what the problem is. But I will probably take those and, bring them in and keep them under the lights if at all possible. So let's get started. Let's move the camera around, and then we'll put the potting soil into the bucket, and then we'll put the potatoes in the bucket and try to finagle a light. I just have two. I may end up having to buy another grow light. Another light fixture and a grow bulb. These seem to be doing really well. I've got all kinds of starter plants going. So anyway, let's get to it. All right. And normally there's about 20 quarts in 5 gallons, and that's liquid quarts. And but I'm not going to fill this all the way to the top because I only bought one bag. I wasn't really even sure they had anything that I wanted to buy that I could afford, and wasn't already chemically treated like MG. We'll just we'll just call it MG. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The chemically formulated soil. I don't use that crap. I like to use the good old-fashioned soil. And this was cheap, $3.50. And you know, we're going to go ahead and just dump that in there. Since it's 14 quarts, that's roughly about 3 gallons. So that's not the full 5-gallon bucket. This was an old bucket, was just sitting around. I did punch a couple extra holes in it. Really didn't need it because, as I said, the bottom of this bucket was split anyway, so it wasn't going to hold any kind of liquids. Now let's work this around, and yeah, that's what I kind of was worried about, was how much wood could a woodchuck. Well, never mind. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of sticks in here. This looks like it was picked up off the ground at a lumber yard. But the soil itself is very rich. Smells like freshly dug up dirt. That's what it smells like. And so I think it's going to be okay. There's even little pebbles in it, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I wish I could bring the camera closer, but I haven't. We've got a messed up phone mount. So let's just. So there we go. Just about came to the top. It's not quite 5 gallons. You know, maybe closer to 4. Okay, so I already get the hands dirty, but I'm going to use the trusty Fisker's trowel, little baby shovel, and I'm just going to scoop out some holes here. So nothing real exciting there. I'll know pretty much what I'm doing right there. Is just making a hole big enough for it to accommodate both the potato and the roots. And of course the potato can serve as food basically for growth, so it's going to kind of cannibalize itself. Of course the sticks come out. We'll save that for, I don't know if I'm going to grow any more potatoes or not. I'm doing pretty well with potatoes, and these aren't going to be big potatoes. These are small potatoes that they actually come from a company called Small Potato Company, and they were really, really buttery and just really awesome tasting. So what I'm going to do is hopefully reproduce them, because if they're already sprouting like this, they're going to make, they're going to make potatoes. So I'm not sure exactly if they go ahead and just pick them early, or if this is a special breed of potatoes that are naturally tiny. So when I put this in here, I'll show you. I'll kind of tip the bucket over without spilling it. I'm not sure. This has been a weird day for me so far. It's more than your typical Monday. I already smashed my thumb. That was from putting holes in the bucket. So anyway, what's a little work without some blood and sweat, right? Not sweating, but I did draw some blood. So anyway, no big deal. No big deal, it just hurts. Now we'll make us another hole. Grab us another potato. Take the little stakes or pins or whatever the heck you want to call them, supports. Take them out. Sit that down. needs to be a little bit of a deeper hole. Some of my soil has dipped back down in there. Okay. So we just want to keep the shoots, the green part of the potato sticking up out of the soil so it gets sunlight and air. Okay. Now, but one more to do. And this little part of the project will be done. Just try to heap it up over in that out of the way. Maybe not so much of it will fill the hole. And we'll take that out of there. I don't know what I'm doing. I just pretend I do. Right. It's going to take a little bit of finesse. I don't have much of that. I haven't paid my subscription to finesse. Just redistribute some of the soil around. I'm not too sure about that second one I put in there. I guess it'll be okay. All right. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. This is actually, well, 4, but that's just 2 sprouts coming off the same potato. Again, these are from a small potato company. And like I said, they were really delicious. First I ever heard of the company before. Somebody brought them over to me. And I said, what the heck? Let me try these potatoes out. And yeah, they're really good. They're creamy. They cook up easy because they're small. A lot of flavor. And I'm looking forward to harvesting some of these potatoes. Hold on just a second. I'll show you the bag. All right. Well, small and little, they mean the same thing, right? So I had the name wrong. It's the Little Potato Company. And these are called Morning Pearl. Smooth, fluffy texture. I'm not paid by these people to say this stuff. I'm just reading the package. As you can see, you know, these are perfect for soups and stews. And shoot, I was baking the good sized ones like this. I would bake about 6, maybe 8, you know, and I would bake them just like a baked potato. They would get done a whole lot quicker. I'd put some butter and some sour cream on them, a little bit of salt, maybe some herbs. Oh, you talk about delicious. So I'm really hoping that these right here turn out, you know, great. So why not? I mean, you know, you could take Idaho potatoes, you know, just about any potato really out there, and just throw them in some dirt if you've got them started like I do. So wish me luck. I hope they turn out just as good as they are in the package. Again, not sponsored, but I have to say they're really good. Let's see, we need one more thing before I close out the video. Need to add some water to this. This soil is a little moist, but that's humidity type of moist. It's really not going to nourish or hydrate these potatoes. So I'm going to go over here and get some water real quick. I always reuse these containers, 1 gallon containers, and that makes it easier to deal with for watering plants. course, I don't need to tell. Most of you all know this stuff. You're way ahead of the game. A lot, maybe a little or a lot more advanced than I am in the gardening community. But hey, my mom, she grew a garden in her front yard, barely had anything to mow. Her garden was so big. And nobody else that I knew of in Cleveland had their garden in the front yard. She did have a bit of a garden in the backyard, but she had more front yard, so she always had a beautiful garden with flowers and vegetables in it. So I've been around the gardening scene. I've had several gardens in the past, but this right here is a great challenge, and it gets me out doing things rather than sitting around the house being bored, wishing I had something to do. So it's great. I've got things growing, things are green, and I can't wait to get stuff in the ground outside as well. So some of my gardening is going to be container gardening. Some of it will be in the ground. Thanks a lot for stopping by, watching me stumble and mumble through this whole video. If you like it, share me out. Ask people to subscribe, and I need the watch hours, so if you don't mind, play my playlist if you have the time. I know there's a lot of people out there trying to watch everyone's playlist. It's just not enough hours in the day or night. Because let's face it, YouTubers, we don't sleep, do we? And when we do, it's very little. So with all that, I'm out of here. This is Storms. You have a great day. Hello, everybody. Storms here again. Went out today and got some potting soil. Blip, blip, blip. Let's try that again. Hello, blah, blah, blah.